Hey guys, I know it's been a while and I still have some Flash to get to, but I just had to talk about Avengers Infinity War. I saw it last Friday and I'm still trying to come to terms with what I saw. But before I get into that, if anyone hasn't seen the film, you can go. Get out of here. Go, 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 go. I'll give you some time. Okay, so now that that's taken care of, let's get into Avengers Infinity War. 10 years of development and 18 films, or is it 19? No, it's 18. 18 films, man. And now we have the epic conclusion of an amazing story. Well, half. This is part one. Part two will be coming out next year. And I gotta say, that part right there kind of bothered me because I'm the type of person that likes to complete story. Like, if there's a part two to something, I like to watch it immediately after part one. That's just how I am. Like, whether it's books, movies, or video games, if I think there's going to be a cliffhanger, I'll just wait. Um, I did it before. I was going to do it again, but considering how big the movie was and the fact that there was no way I was going to be able to stay away from spoilers, I went and I saw it, and it blew my mind away. From the opening scene to the ending, it was everything was just structured and handled so well. In the first scene, where it picks up immediately where Thor Ragnarok left off, where Thanos' ship is staring Thor's ship right in the face, and apparently all the Asgardians are dead. Valkyrie's not there. Only ones that are left are Thor, Hulk, Loki, and Heimdall. And next thing you know, you got Hulk fighting Thanos, and he was holding his own for some time, until he wasn't. And he just gets rocked. Thanos just makes quick work of the Hulk, which surprises me. Then Heimdall sends Hulk to Earth, and Thanos kills Heimdall, and I wasn't happy about that. Then next, Loki makes this Hail Mary attempt and try to kill Thanos, and then Thanos kills him. It was just a lot, but I handled it pretty well. I really did. I was a nervous wreck. I didn't know what was gonna happen or where it was gonna happen or when. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, and by the end of the movie, I was left with a confused and hurt look on my face. Like, really, it's gonna end like that. That's how it's gonna end. And I was angry. I was pretty mad for about like 5 seconds. Then I remembered that this is only the first film. It was a really good film, and I went to the movies to be entertained, and I was. It's just that, everything flowed so well and so beautifully. It just didn't feel like 2 hours. No scene felt out of place. The action was insane. The dialogue was great. It was interesting seeing how, well they handled the characters, which consist of members from the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, and Spider Man, were handled and how they interacted with one another, like Iron Man and Doctor Strange, or Iron Man and Star Lord, or Thor and Star Lord. None of the characters really felt, out of place or out of character. Well, one did, but that wasn't really him. That was more like the dynamic of the people around him. Other than that, everyone was handled pretty well. They all had their own designated scenes and areas, like Iron Man in space and in the ship, Thor in space, and Captain America on Earth. And they shared scenes with other single movie characters. Characters and scenes that really stood out to me were, of course, Doctor Strange, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America. I pretty much loved all these scenes that they were in. Well, liked with Cap because he didn't really get the chance to do much, but they were still cool nonetheless. The scene where Doctor Strange is fighting Thanos and he's using all these cool new spells is something that I really loved because that was my biggest problem in the Doctor Strange film, where they kept trying to explain or rationalize magic and using what Thor said in his first film about it and science being one and the same. No, stop it. Stop it. If you keep trying to explain magic, it just ceases being magic. I expected something like this. Stop doing this and give me more like a dark Harry Potter or a watered down Constantine. Take me to different realms with dangerous creatures. places that are dangerous for humans and sorcerers to go. And it's not like I didn't enjoy it. I really did enjoy the film. It's just that I expected more. Anyway, sorry about that rant. Other scenes that I enjoyed were, of course, Iron Man and New York, where he activates his new suit, which I love. And you see all the cool, interesting new things that he's able to do with it, like focus the nanotech in his hands or feet to make blasters or melee weapons, like he does when he's fighting Thanos on Titan. I pretty much loved all Iron Man scenes, except for when he gets stabbed. I wasn't prepared for that. It was a good fight, but I wasn't prepared for that. Neither was anyone in the theater. Um, but anyway, I like the battle in Wakanda. There were a lot of great things that happened there. A lot of great scenes. Me personally, the scenes that stuck out for me would have to be Cap catching up with Black Panther when they were running down that hill. I really love that scene. Rocket being picked up by Bucky and they have their action scene. Also love when Scarlet Witch comes down and she has her fight and they throw down. That was awesome. Um, there are definitely high stakes in this film. It's like in the previous films, you feel like, oh yeah, we're superheroes. We're gonna, blow up some stuff and save some people and defeat the bad guy. In this film, it's deadly serious. There are a few jokes, but it really feels like it's about to go down. And Thanos really helps out with that. You really feel a weight and a gravity every time he's on screen. Well, at least for me, he just looked like death every time he was on screen. He scared me. This was no throwaway villain here. This was not someone that was just gonna disappear or die like the other Marvel villains. No, he meant business. This guy was serious and nothing was gonna stop him. He was like a bullet train with a bunch of people talking in his head, debating whether this is right or not, killing Gamora for the Soul Stone, killing half of the universe, but the train is still going. He fully believed that what he was doing was right, that the ends justified the means, and that is what makes a great villain. Things that I didn't really like about the film, I would have to. Well, they're small. They're not really, big things and little nitpicks. I felt really bad for Thor. I felt in his people. I felt bad for everybody, but Thor, I really felt like he got the bum end of the stick there. I mean, like he lost his mom, his dad, his hammer, and he had to kill his sister, but not before losing an eye. Then he had to witness his whole planet blow up. Comes face to face with Thanos, loses all of his people, and has to witness his brother die again. Like, where do you go after all that? What's to be done? Another thing that I didn't really like is that they kill him though. I expected more out of him. Ever since that line in the first Thor about him having all this power, I wanted to see him do something. And the fact that they killed him off, it's just, without him getting the chance to do much, it's just, I don't know. It just feels, like a waste. And another thing is Star Lord. I'm not gonna get into how he messed up the plan. He messed up the plan, but that's completely Star Lord. That wasn't out of character at all. At least to me, that was him. That's how he acts. But I just felt like the dynamic of the whole team of Guardians of the Galaxy was kind of off. Like in the first one they were starting to become friends, and the second one they were like beginning to be this family, and then this one it was kind of shifted. They didn't respect Peter as much as I would have liked. And another thing, this is kind of bugging me. Thor is still not wearing his helmet. I mean, he wore it for a brief moment in the first film in Ragnarok, but he's still not wearing it. One more thing, the eye, his eye. I like the look he had with his eye. It just feels like damage control now. I like the whole new look Thor had, and it just, I don't know. I don't like what they're going with it. One more thing is I wasn't really too impacted with the whole dusting of all the characters, like when they were all disappearing. The only deaths that really had me were, Loki, Gamora, then Vision, and the only dusting character that actually had me was like Groot. And I felt really bad for Rocket. I didn't like that. One more thing is Vision. I know he got stabbed in the back, and I know he was damaged. I just felt that he could have did a little bit more.
I think that's about it. Oh yeah, one more thing. The end credit scene. I think it would have been nice if they had another after credit scene, but this time it's Nova and his crew showing up on Xandar. He talks to the lady that was in Guardians One. He says something cool like permission. She says granted, and he grabs his helmet and takes off into the sky. I think that would have been really really cool. Another thing that I heard is that Banner will be able to talk to the Hulk, inside his head, like Marvel's Mightiest Heroes TV show that came on a while back. So I think that would be really cool. Well, anyway, I think that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Keep in mind that these are all my opinions. I have tremendous respect for all directors, writers, actors that go behind making these movies that we can enjoy and talk about. Hit the like button and subscribe. That is completely up to you. Peace.